still pretty well. Does decently well versus the PL once you've gotten some items up. Obviously, it's a lot of AoE damage to burn away the illusions. And, you know, not a lot of bursts from Secret either.
When's the first rotation really going to come in? Like, we're talking about, like, how passive this early game can be. Everyone's just looking for their farm in the lanes. But when you run a Darkseer as well as a Slaughter, can you just force it on this top lane and try and go after the PL when he's got Doppelganger Cave? Is there any way you can force Team Secret to get this IO out of the jungle before the time? Where he's already 3.5 levels up and has the bottle up. So he's probably going to come out of the jungle anyway.
Yeah, he may walk up to the top and try and threaten there. Looks like he's sitting on this hill here, so maybe one may be looking to take down the Invoker here. I think that's, you know, a move he could potentially make. I think that's one of the advantages of starting the Wisp here. You don't really know where he is. He could be farming these camps over on the right side.
But when he sits on that hill, he's run and took the red reserve board, but they were very much aware.
Yeah, so Firo was playing a little bit back.
That's why Yapsor's on the hunt. He's coming over to try and mess with Pile Die with the movement speed. He's got and the Iron Shell. Gets a crush off. The Sunstrike's kicking in, and he tethers away just fast enough down to mid one. And now it's Yapsor who kind of needs to start his TP out. Force Puppy to come over as well, but that's a decent amount of pressure.
Yeah, the lanes are all going pretty evenly. Enigma is farming the jungle a decent amount. Darkseer has very, very similar CS, similar levels. In the mid lane, basically the same story. A little bit of discrepancy between Gyrocopter and the PL, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. But I think whenever you're playing this Slaughter or Darkseer, you really want to be punishing the safe lane. If you're not able to do that super early on, then now Puppy rotates in.
He started the surge. It's only level 1. This will be first blood for the top lane in favor of Team Secret. Even with the Observer Ward, he didn't back up in time. And as Team Secret moving over there, the second nighttime really begins.
Yeah, I think this this last pick, PL, like, worked so well for this lane. That's not a hero we traditionally see, but there's no way you're ever landing a crush against the Doppelganger. He's got a lot of armor, so doesn't mind tanking the creeps onto the tower. Yapsor rotates to the bottom and kills Keizu.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away.
Turn this into a push as well.
Dire's no fortified their structures.
Like the old school one position gyrocopter. I know Alliance did this a hell of a lot.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
The creep wave. This is always happened with the catapult wave as well. Exactly this timing. You just push heavily into the lane.
Yep. Down below half HP. With Keizu coming back, we'll be able to pull the creeps off the tower pretty easily with the Eidolon, so the Night Pulse, so he has to back off. Bot is almost up to level 6. I wonder if he'll try and make a move up to top. It's kind of hard. They need to bring either the Darkseer, you know, and the Slaughter up here, and have the Gyrocopter TP in to probably kill this PL, as he's pretty tanky. He is out of regen though, so he's gonna slowly start to get whittled down by these ion shells. And the Darkseer, you know, after they rotate up here and kill him, is basically gonna have a free lane. I wonder if they're gonna smoke up and try and kill him again. You know, hop out MP a little bit more, or if they're gonna look to pressure mid. But Firo, realizing that, hey, they're, you know, both supports are off the map. Gyrocopter is a hero that's going to want to rotate after they take this bottom tower. They're going to want to start getting aggressive. So I'm gonna back off the map, make sure I don't drop.
Keizu is really, like, he knows the cooldown's going to begin. Keizu gets hit by that stun and the Sunstrike. So Keizu will drop to the Sunstrike, gives a kill over to Firo. With Pilotize rotation, if he gets the Spirit Sun to Fana, they'll find the return kill. So an off laner for your safe laner. Pilot might have been the one to get the kill.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
But they have the extra constellation prize in the form of the Lion. So it's Pilot again who takes the kill.
Yeah, that's a nice couple of turnaround kills, and they don't even lose their tier 1 towers. So if Fada TP's back down here to farm, then Secret knows that this Gyrocopter is trapped here. They could potentially rotate on him. If he goes to another lane, then Keizu will have absolutely free farm bottom. So those 2 turnaround kills are like super huge because it forces Fada to make a choice.
Is he getting that? Yeah, he is.
How could it be?
Wow.
He was running around him with Iron Shell, using the initial surge and
Dire's
PL
top
had
tower
already.
is
I
under
don't think
attack.
he didn't have mana, but he had mana for Doppelganger.
Never refuse gold.
But he got picked off.
Are those cracks in Dire's top tower?
Yeah, it's that's it's an unfortunate death for the PL, and going down like that, you start running out of regen, and it worked very well early, right? Because you can't crush the PL, but once he runs out of regen, you continue to just have this Ion Shell spam shoving into the tower, and eventually it's going to go down as it's getting attacked by the catapult right now. Yapsor was up here taking some of the XP while Forev goes to the jungle, and PL is not really a hero that can play very far from behind. The Invoker is going to have a very nice time against their heroes if he gets the farm, which he is. He's, you know, have basically free farm in the jungle right now. And you kind of worry for this PL if he does end up getting behind. And it's not going to get any easier either. The Ion Shells are going to continue to get spammed in here. And the Slaughter will, you know, the Darkseer healing up right now, going to TP back up. And they're just going to continue to spam these Ion Shells, try and dive the tower even. And there's not really much NP can do. He's kind of stuck here, and it's not really a hero that can rotate around and pressure any of Bear's heroes right now.
Just needs to farm up until he gets strong enough to deal with it, and then perhaps add his own pressure on the top. But they're back again. The Red TP's into the lane. Having the Arcane Boots means that Yapsals can have never-ending mana, and they really want to dive if possible. Level 6 is going to get triggered up by Yapsal the second one more creep dies, so now they have the amplification to work with too. And the rest of Team Secret on the hunt, they run
Dire's
underneath
top
the
tower
Radiant
is under
Circle.
attack.
So Bears understand there is no more help up here for MP on the top, so but they want to commit to try and bring down the tower, which is almost within deny range. They will be able to easily take it.
Yeah, and MP really doesn't have anything to do at this point. He can just sort of go farm the jungle camps, but it's not really what you want to be doing. Secret's really looking to get aggressive. They were wrapping behind them, you know, the mid tower looking for Firo, but super smart read from him. Just doesn't even go there. Realizes, you know, where they're getting aggressive at. Doesn't have any wards at all, but just knows they're not helping MP up top.
He's denying the tower out.
Dire just denied their
Yeah,
top
he is kind of
tower.
trapped here now. Breath may look to try and burn him a little bit. He's starting to get slowly chipped down, but still has the doppelganger.
Relocates on the way in. Karev turns the ulti on, actually hits 3 heroes with it. He needs more health, however, and then look at him. Yapsal pulled in. Able to get the crush. Sunstrike's on the way in. Hits on mid one. Looking the call down as well. Barter joins the engagement. Meteorite drops as well. They'll relocate back out again. The Pylite Eye will burn in the mid lane. The Phantom Lancer also died underneath the call down of Fada. Fada was actually awarded the kill as well. In the mid lane. Wait, hang on.
I think he got flacked.
And it follows?
Yeah, it
Even
follows.
when you get relocated out like that? That moved pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's what I thought was weird. How fast the flack hit him.
Radiant's
Yeah.
middle tower could use some help.
Maybe he took damage from other heroes besides Fado. That's weird.
Yeah, I thought it was like the meteorite. That's like where my brain instantly went with it. But yeah, the kill was awarded anyway to Fada. So he has a double kill for this, and brings him closer to his first item, which appears to be a Maelstrom. His first item. Trouble bottom lane. Spirit jump in, and very Darkseer. They can't do much to stop that, but the Iron Shell burn damage, which is in the lane, now they're going to get it removed by creating conversions.
Radiant's bottom
More
tower's
with
got
Team Secret,
problems.
just enough where they may consider not fighting this.
Yeah.
Especially with the mid lane being pressured by Fada as well as Firo.
Yeah, they don't want to risk fighting here on this bottom tower. It's a very, very hard tower to defend, both this top Dire tier 1 and the bottom tier 1 for Radiant, but they're realizing that Bears thinks they're going to pressure this tower. Instead, they smoke the mid, but Fada actually sniffing it out, so really nice read from them. They're still probably going to lose this tower, but in the meantime, Firo will continue to farm up as the Midas, and now already the Staff of Wizardry, so getting very farmed out on the Invoker, and Fada, you said going towards the Maelstrom. I wonder if he's going to go for the Maelstrom first and then into the Ags afterward, which is, you know, because since the side gunner shots still carry the orb effects now, you can Maelstrom proc twice. I haven't seen people go for the Maelstrom one over they go for the Ags. It'd be kind of interesting. That's what he did.
Fada is a very unique creature, so it would not surprise me if he does. Sitting at the top net worth on the field at the moment, and with these towers dropping, there's not much between these two teams. We're kind of expecting that anyway. These two teams have been playing terrific Dota throughout the qualifier. Maybe Bears will look more of a favorite coming into this. That's a nice steal. Iron Shell for Puppy.
Yeah, we'll be able to spam these lanes in.
Adam as well as Yapsal teaming up. We do have the Finger of Death now on Adam, so the potential to create a lot of space from this. Get someone to TP in towards the mid, have that large amount of burst damage, and it's the Enigma who's coming in. So Keizu, well, it was nice knowing you, man, but they commit the Finger and the Sunstrike. Yapsal with the Crush actually finds the kill.
Sympathies.
Yeah, both teams have potential to take these early fights. A lot of it is just about how the moves are made.
And going in for this, instantly hexed up. This will allow Firo to go in this while they deal some Rubik. He'll move back over. One quick attack to find that one. Mid one.
No mana.
A lot of mana. There's your back as well as more kicking in. And MP looking towards dealing with Yapso, but the crush will hold him there. The relocate. It pulls mid one out to safety, but he still wants to go back there and rejoin his teammate. MP's on the run for F, was burning him in the tree line. It's like it was creating more space than anything else, keeping the rest of Secret away from Yapso. And they're going to come over and shrine it up.
Yeah, KZU, just pick up the mech now, so their 5-man has been, you know, buffed up just a little bit. Did mid one go down there? Okay, no, so he managed to get away.
Yes, he survived.
Yeah, so that's really important for Secret. If he had gone down there, their most farmed hero right now just picks up the bots. He's one of the players that doesn't actually go for Veil very often on this hero. Goes for the Aquila into the Maelstrom after Yapsor.
You just ran up into that observer. They had all the vision in the world for this one. Puppy's going to steal crush, kick him up, pull him back in again. Puppy does find the kill. The level 4 Fate Bolt to ensure it.
Yeah, and Bears I think is okay with this tempo. They're okay with losing a couple heroes here and there. As long as they're farming up the Invoker, he's getting very close to the Aghanims. Gyrocopter, he's okay with fighting here and there. But definitely doesn't just want to run right into Secret. Secret's definitely, they want to be aggressive right now. They want to try and pressure this bottom tier 2, force reactions out of Bears. Bears are just going to give it up. They know that it's kind of risky for them to fight right now. Yapsor is closing in on the blink slowly but surely, about 1,000 away. Once they have the blink dagger, they have the Aghanims on Invoker. They can start to take these fights more consistently, a little more safely. They may actually try and pressure Roche.
Yeah, they're going in for it. Mirror do this a little bit earlier, sometimes because he's always looking to buff up and get after him. They actually have a lot more damage than you really expect early on to try and do this Roshan, combining that up with amplification.
Yeah, Secret doesn't look like Secret. No, they expect Bears to be smoking down the bottom. They may realize it in a second, but I think by the time they realize it may be too late.
It's because they scanned the shrine. But yeah, it's already done. Sunstrike helps in the last
Yeah,
minute.
right when they realize mid one just
now,
keep.
they have to push the tier 2. But at the same time, can they? Mid one's being hunted. Yapsor saw the spirit go up.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He can't get close
is
towards
no
the tower.
more.
It's just that Invis rune he's got. So it's a surprise potential hit. But without the line on the front lines, looks like Lion's Finger of Death only just came off cooldown. And Yapsor doesn't have blink. Another issue.
Yeah, not really a way they can bring down these Embers here. They'd have to like get.
Somebody better help
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, but it's unlikely the Lion's able to get into range. Doesn't even have Tranquil Boots yet, so it's still pretty slow. Only 355. The Ember has bots, so right after the Crush wore off, he just speed away to the Remnant. Losing the tier 2 bot is kind of unfortunate for Bears. It's going to give the MP probably a lot of space to catch up down bottom with the Ember Spirit, able to push that out and then play with his team wherever on the map. So they had that mobility options because mid one went for the Boots of Travel, so they can try and 5-man look for these fights, and they really want to. MP has the HOD now, going for a pair of bots of his own, so it allows they have a lot of mobility. The Rubik and the Enigma can potentially smoke up somewhere, or the Rubik and the Ember, and they can relocate a hero in. So they're going to be looking for fights around the map, I think, Secret, and they don't want to let up on the pressure because the Invoker is continuing to farm, and whenever you don't have answers like this, you don't really have the greatest catch. You're sort of all about just this general magic damage, AoE team fight. You're not okay with an Invoker, getting up to Aghanim's Blink, BKB, and then you just don't really have a way to kill him, and he's free to just throw spells out here and there, get to level 25, and then you really just don't have an answer.
Fine one, man, especially if this game does go late. Meanwhile, the top lane's going to pressure in, so KZU behind that tower, looking to go directly into BKB, so no attacker for him. And Puppy on top of the observer board. Adam, he's pretty close, he could probably go for the Hex. He tried. He tried for a second throw out the stump, but the smoke broke, and Puppy's observer was able to scout that out.
Yeah, it was close. They were trying to move up here, potentially get a kill and take this tower. They don't really just want to sit around in AFK while Firo farms. They'd like to, get kills here or there, so they're not falling behind on net worth. As Secret is out farming them right now. They've taken a couple of those towers down bottom, so they're able to push it out, take all of Bear's jungle pretty consistently, as well as holding most of their own. So the current state of the game, Secret's pretty okay with, but they'd like to keep this tempo up, keep Bears from finding any pickoffs like that. So making sure they don't die there on Puppy is actually pretty huge. They're forced to just go back, continue to farm, as it looks like Fada is actually going to be going for the Ags. So going for the Maelstrom into the Aghanims. Gets a little bit of a damage boost first, and then into the tankiness. And I think that's fine. I think if he goes for the Aghanims first this game, they could be pretty low on damage against like the PL, against the just the Wisp healing people up, has the urn. Actually going for a Midas on Wisp.
Really?
Yep, has the recipe.
They must be really preparing themselves for a lot later in this game if he's got Midas. Unless there's a, like, is there a specific thing in the country he's thinking is better?
I mean, the gold per minute is really nice. That level 20. Granted, that's quite far away. But yeah, I think if you look at Secret Heroes, they don't really have a particular way to end this game. They're very good at looking for fights and pushing out these lanes. You can maybe chip towers that way, but
breaks the smoke, doesn't instantly go for the telekinesis, however. And Adam, well, there's one Purge dominating group there. They'll get the stuns, now Tornado connects onto the Enigma. Still got the issue that Adam is stuck on the stairs. Could not get back down again. Actually ended up almost dying to his own stun the Puppy stole.
Yeah, and they just continue to look for these things. They try to smoke up the hill, but Secret are waiting for them there. And they're going in for the Midas on the Wisp. This Maelstrom build is the much more farming intensive build. You get that Maelstrom super early, already has it at 18 minutes on top of the bots. This Ember is gonna be no joke as the game goes a little bit later. And they know, like, their heroes, they have an Ember Spirit and a PL. Those are not heroes that are able to end the game early, so they don't really want to play against a super farmed Evoker, but that's sort of what this game is coming to. They made a couple of early rotations, didn't go super well. They tried to gank whenever Bears were taking the original mid tower. They tried to potentially get a fight there and then take the Bears mid tower off of that, but didn't go super well. Everybody had to back off, so they've taken control of this jungle, and they're sort of resolved to just playing this farming game. Looking for key items, maybe waiting for the MPs to fuse the blade to look for fights. But I don't think they're too opposed to fighting now either. It's all about like finding openings. Bat movements are pretty huge right now, and I don't think one team has a significant advantage right now. Although I do think Bears are perfectly fine taking the game a little bit later.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
They just picked up 2 Blink Daggers, one on the Slaughter.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They have that jump. Yapsor's kept his Blink Dagger pretty well hidden. There's only one other one which is almost there, and that's Puppy, and they gave him mid lane and farm up, and now he has the money for it. So he'll have the Blink Dagger over on the Rubik too.
Yeah, they're waiting behind the mid tower with mid one.
Too much pressure being applied to the bottom lane. Like, Fearo's going to show himself here, and they'll understand that Bears don't have enough defense for the mid lane. Sunstrike's kicking in, and it's pretty heavily on power, and I kind of forget that Sunstrike is always able to do a whole lot of damage from very, very far away. And MP being amplified up to Dark Sea, a little bit too much damage. Puppy keeps the control on, and they've got extra mana for some Black Hole. They really want to commit it. Hasn't happened just yet. A Puppy, wall of replicas stolen. Sparta gonna try and clean out the line, and he actually has the opportunity as Yapsor, who got the instant stun. The second mid one went in there, he got the crush on him.
Yeah, he had the haste rune. I don't know how mid one always has a haste rune. It's kind of insane, but he was trying to wrap around from the back. The rocket actually got stuck onto him by Fada, and so they knew exactly where he was coming around from the hill. I think he missed his slight chains actually, so it was on cooldown. Runs up, gets hexed, and then the crush follow-up, he just gets bursted down with his Gyrocopter. Actually does a substantial amount of damage, which you don't really typically think of when you think of the Gyrocopter, dealing a lot of physical damage. With the Maelstrom, actually hits pretty hard and pretty fast, and now almost up to the Ag, so he's actually a very, very farmed Gyrocopter.
Well gotten.
Pushing Bears into a better position with that small little engagement. They already got an easy 1,000 net worth, but it's the experience that just continues to rise for Bears now, with 4K experience being their advantage. Rather going up already, they'll continue to go that way for the time being.
Yeah, and it's fights like that.
We're going to go on bottom lane. Spirit middle. Puppy actually stealing the call down from Sparta. Sparta's having a fight for 5 Kazu. Here's Black Hole, instantly cancels off. Just trying to hold the Darkseer in position. It did its job while the rest of Bears just looked to TP back out again. They'll be able to do so. This stops the push, and that tier 1 tower we thought was going to be gone maybe 10 to 15 minutes ago is still standing.
Yeah, they don't want to give up anything for free. Secret is all about fighting here and now. They don't want to give up, just all of this free map control to the Invoker, who's going to start to split these lanes. Has the Ags now working towards the Blink, and is very, very farmed. They want to look to fight around this time. They use the Black Hole now, so their team fight gonna be a little bit weaker. Mid one is extremely strong right now. This is one of those times. Ember Spirit's a hero that hits a couple of peaks and is strong for a very long time, and more items don't particularly help him that much. He's working towards the Shivas, but that really won't change the dynamic of this game or how Secret wants to fight. So they're just looking for the right opportunities. I don't think either team is really opposed to fighting it. They just need to find the right jumps. you know, at bottom, Fada gets jumped on, blown up, and then he's dead at the beginning of the fight.
They want Vero. Poppy's going to come in. He's still got called out of Valve. That throws the Invoker back to the Sentry Ward. It's also up. They're going to dust as well. So Vero thought he can get away with it. Definitely blast. Tries to create some TP back out.
Oh my goodness.
He actually made it?
Pi missed, he missed one of the spirits. He was trying to pull him in and out, and I think he moved, missed a little bit, and I think that missing that one spirit actually saved Vero. That was so close.
That is one lucky duck. And now you've got Perez back in. Wall, Sunstrike right on top of Pylai Die. Now Tender himself is way to end. He's going to pick up the puppy. Telekinesis creates a little bit more space. But now the chase is on. Mid one has that homing missile on his tail. So they can chase it if they want to, but unlikely.
I wonder. I think the TP back to base was actually necessary. I think he would have got Sunstruck and died if the missile hit. What level is it? It's level 3 missile, which do 375. So about 300 damage. If you add that with the Sunstrike, it actually probably would have killed him. So I think it's wise for mid one to TP back there or not.
I'm currently watching the global.
Don't. Pop the flame guard, so no damage taken.
It's just when you go that quickly around the towers, you get like 5 tower attacks
Yeah.
the missile. It's the ultimate game of like follow the leader.
He has the Aghanims completed on Fada right now. They're gonna look for a fight off of that. Blink still on Slardar.
Good observer what I actually saw mid one. Oh, and he's back out to the spirit. They've missed their opening. But allows them to put down an aggressive observer ward.
Yeah, they have both of these wards down behind these towers, so it looks like they really want to take this bottom tier 1. Hero's actually migrating over to here, so these wards down, it's kind of hard for Seeker to actually get over here and defend these without getting scouted out and jumped, especially with the Slaughter and Gyrocopter kind of just hanging around there. They can see the TPing in, so we'll see if Secret knows that. Mid one was jumping out like that, so it seems they know that they're around that area. See if Puppy tries to D-ward there, has a sentry. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, but he D-warded the one to the lower, not the one upper.
Yeah, so they still see him backing up.
Dyer's bottom tower always did get short shrift.
This is perfectly right if you're bad.
Radiant's top
You can keep
tower
forcing
has
down
looked
the lane,
better.
you got a lot of strength to work with, you got your blink daggers ready to go. Like Puppy is the only man defending
Dyer's
that
bottom
tier 2
tower
tower with
is under
Alacrity
attack.
popped up. Like Vero hits
Radiant's top
around
tower
300 pop.
Radiant's top tower has
He gives it
fallen.
to Father instead, who now
Dyer
hits
have
at
fortified
300
their
as well.
structures.
So fortification is
Dyer's
forced out
bottom
of Team
tower
Secret.
is under
So
attack.
taking the tier 1 tower on the top lane.
Radiant's top tower deserves
That's one of their
just as much
advantages.
help as bottom.
This is a straight tier 1 for tier 1 at the moment.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah, he's playing a little bit scared on Fada, which I think is smart. He doesn't want to get jumped by mid one, who's off the map right now. He can always be rotating from the shrine, although
Radiant's
they
top
have
tower
did they put up
deserves
another
just
ward?
as much
Okay, no,
help
so they
as
can't
bottom.
actually see this shrine. Yeah, he's actually TPing onto the creep, gonna look for somebody.
Yeah, looking on that purge creep with the relocate down, they find
Radiant's
Pereb in the
tower
trees.
is under
He
attack.
actually wants to go, but came back, wall. No TP scroll available at the moment, so Pereb just has to kind of man mode to accept his fate. With the PL illusion, he's almost killing Pylai Tai. Pylai Tai's relocate will end up saving him. And they gotta stop fighting inside the wall.
Yeah, that was very close. Pylai Die, off of that, getting that Midas is actually...
He just tried to sunstrike him.
Where did he throw it out at?
He threw it, so the sunstrike hit just here, right, just below, between.
Oh, okay. It was actually pretty close.
Yeah, I looked up and the eye was pretty damn low.
Yeah,
But I think he's stick charged.
I think Pylai Die getting that Midas is going to be pretty game-changing. He's actually getting pretty close to Lotus Orb. He's picked up the Perseverance, and that'll help quite a bit against the Slardar, the Lion. Being able to throw it onto this Ember Spirit, as he is going for the Shivas, so not going for anything like the Lincoln, something like that. So the Lotus will help quite a bit if he gets jumped and amped. We'll have
Lotus Orb, you've got Solar Crest, and then you'll have the Shivas as well.
Yeah, it'll be very, very hard to bring him down.
The Solar Crest just got completed on Puppy.
Okay, wow, so he has Blink and Solar Crest. That's a huge Rubik. They're splitting the farm very, very evenly across Secret, which I think is quite good.
Oh, jump in. They've done Sparta. Oh, wondering if he needs to help out. Now, there's Sparta. It's so low. The stun went off him. MP just deplorable on the front lines. And Secret really wanting to fight. Like, they got that BKB over on Enigma. And there's nothing that actually stops him. Like, it's not as though Slaughter's going to get around the black
Radiant
hole
structures
to
are
back.
fortified.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to... Yeah, it's like almost impossible to stop it whenever he has the BKB up and running.
Sunstrike scouted out the fact that Secret were doing Roshan. Hit Pylai Die perfectly on the noggin. why Team Secret now have some aggressive wards up and running. Their sentry is in range of both the Observer and the sentry if they want it, but that sentry won't survive with the PL illusions there.
Yeah, they're about to finish up the Shivas on mid one. He has 3,100 gold, so there's a few more creeps and he'll have it completed, which is pretty huge. The vision is also really, really nice, so could potentially clip the Slaughter with the Shivas and stop him from blinking. Can mean quite a bit. Also really nice for this whole Roche standoff that's going on right now. I think that favors Secret quite a bit because they have the more mobile heroes. They have 2 boots of travel, they have a Wisp. So if they're keeping Bears, confined around an area, then they'll be able to split and, farm around the map. And you can see that from the net worth. It was looking pretty good for Bears early on whenever they're able to pull Secret around. They don't have these boots of travel up and online yet. Slaughter Blink is very threatening, but whenever Secret knows where they are, they're so mobile. Taking those 2 towers down bottom early on has been paying massive dividends. They're constantly just able to farm out this jungle, push out the lane, and mid one with this Shivas to show for it.
The Bears can't wait around forever, even if they are farming in close. But they still want to go for Roshan themselves, if possible.
Yeah, it's not easy, and they have the creep sitting in there from MP, so there's almost no way they can just get in there and sneak it. It would take, longer than that. By the time, it's getting to low, Secret will be over to contest it. And it's not worth the risk. If they lose one fight on this Gyrocopter, then, he starts to fall behind, and it's still a hero that can die very, very quickly to other farmed cores. He needs to be ahead, he needs to be extremely tanky and able to just run in to the fight. He's not a hero that can skirt on the outside of the fight, slowly throw attacks in. He's a very short-range hero. He just needs to run in and dish out all the magic damage. It becomes very hard to do whenever this Enigma has picked up the BKB now. Like we said, it gets harder and harder for the Gyrocopter to just walk into them. They have the Slaughter who can potentially set up the fights, and the Invoker who can sort of like make things weird. These fights are definitely. This game is very much down to just execution of fights.
Get that mid. Radiant scan the tree lines. They're looking for mid one. Mid one's happy to reveal himself. Yasuo he wants to go in with the Blink Dagger. Right now, Adam is just bait. Through and through bait. But Poppy's still got the stolen call down. And Lion, he died in the second missile almost. But with the relocate in, they find Yasuo on the tree lines. Definitely blast, won't create any kind of space. TL just goes for the doppelganger and Sparta stands his ground, finds Pilot Eye in 2 seconds. Will be relocated back out of here. He'll take a friend with him. Mid one, he'll successfully.
Oh.
No! They get the stun off! So close to that TP being completed, and that's a huge fight now for Bears.
No buybacks.
2 heroes down with no buybacks. That's a push to high ground. That's a tier 3 tower, if not more.
Yeah, they just got the fresh BKB on Fada. It made all the difference in that fight. MP committed in thinking he could man fight Fada, but whenever he pops the BKB, just doesn't care about the Diffusal Blade. Gets Alacrity and just shreds everything. The EMP did huge work as well. MP wasn't able to doppelganger it.
And the Bears think there's still buybacks over on Team Secret. Like, the creep wave's gone. Yeah, they're TPing out. They're moving to Roshan. That has to be this maneuver. They're trying to take Roshan before Team Secret is back up and running. And they may not know it, but Kaiser also fought, and now they will know it. He fought a Blink Dagger, so he's now got Blink in the event.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to hit a black hole though against Bears heroes. The Gyrocopter and the Invoker aren't typically in the same area of the fight. They have the Slaughter and the Darkseer that are going to be jumping in and casting their spells and then just sort of running around trying to do it again. So it's not the easiest game to find a good black hole. And there isn't a target they necessarily want to solo black hole. They could.
Eversberg is going to go into the pit. There's now
Aegis.
Ball group done. Poppy, here comes K2 through. Man for the black hole. He managed to find it. And now Control Gyro will fall down. They do have the Aegis Immortal. That's what's going to allow him to come back to life again. But with no Invoker and surrounded by 4 heroes, there's no way Fada can survive. MP with a double kill. And they're not done yet. Adam is on the run. He'll be a consolation prize. Too easy. Triple kill for MP. A perfect fight for Team Secret.
Yeah, that was huge. Mid one was able to throw in the triple remnant as well, so the Invoker just absolutely melts. Oh wow, Secret got the Roshan kill as well.
They actually got a dire kill with Roshan, and Fada snatched the Aegis to the Immortal.
Yeah, they're storming down mid lane, so they're definitely going to force buybacks. They have it on the Invoker and the Gyrocopter, but they definitely do not want to have to use it. And those fights are sort of just like the difference between what ends up happening with these net worths. Gyrocopter and Invoker up on top, but the Lion just so poor. The Slaughter only having the Blink Dagger.
Poppy, pick him up, throw him back. He's still got the Crusher Bomb a little bit early on the crush. Yamsel might have enough space to get away from this one, but it's all meant to just be buying time. They have fortification as well, 10 seconds up, or 10 seconds until the Gyro as well as the Invoker are up. But this is still enough time for Team Secret to bring down the tier 3 tower. This will open up Shrine options, and potentially they could bring down the melee rank, but they need to be quick about things. Mid 1, Tornado flying through his first mid 1 as well as MP Puppy with that solid meteorite. Is it? No, he's actually got the crush, but he's dying inside the base. The melee rank is still alive for now. And the rest of Team Secret are bailing out after losing Puppy.
Yeah, I think they're perfectly okay with that. They pressure the right. They don't actually get the melee rack, so maybe should have backed up after getting the tier 3, but just support Rubik. And now Bears has to deal with all of these lanes. And with their lanes, you know, all the way in like this, they're going to start losing shrines, losing map control. And, you know, like we talked about, Gyrocopter is not a mobile hero. Darkseer, not really a super mobile hero either. So they can use the Ion Shells to shove out these lanes with, you know, reasonably low risk. They can use the Forge Spirits, but, you know, Secret can do basically the same. The PL can throw illusions, the Ember Spirit kills the wave super quickly. And, you know, they also, off of that push, got this really nice deep ward, so they can see Firo running down to bottom. And I think, you know, getting the Lotus Orb now completed on Pile Die. They just have so much gold on these supports. The Lotus Orb, the Solar Crest on Puppy. It's getting harder and harder for Bears to actually just insta-give these heroes like we saw a little bit earlier.
Work harder for it, need more sustain. I'm also looking at an Invoker
Dyer's
who
top
was
tower is
so
under attack.
buffed up, and soon finally he'll actually get his upgrades. Farah keeps skipping these every single time he plays the Invoker until the very end. But he's maxed on practically everything.
Yeah, has all of his orbs maxed, yeah, so he will start killing talents.
Same with the Gyro, life, damage, cooldown reduction.
Gyrocopter's talents are so weird. Spell amplification, magic resistance, and movement speed choices.
Like, which one do you
Where's
prefer?
my pension?
Like with the last one, like I always wonder like if it's worthwhile having the 3 homing missiles over the 4 flags. Obviously with this build he's doing 5 tons of damage, so flag makes sense, but...
Yeah, I don't know if the missile is really ever worth it because, you know, by the time you're level 25, people have BKBs and those triple missiles. They're kind of nice on supports, but also people also get Lotus Orbs.
Mid 1. They relocated over for this one, but you're right next to the shrine. Gonna try and fight here. Fada, King Close, Tornado, well on target, but Highlight Eye is locked. X and Sunstrike. No! The relocate pulls him out once again. Just safe. Mid 1 had to spirit himself away from the homing missile to get hit by it. But there's no real follow-up. There's not what Highlight Die is there. There's not something fear of jumping forward, looking for that opportunity to gank on Puppy. He doesn't find it, however.
Yeah, and I think Bears is starting to get a little bit worried. Darkseer is not an offlaner that scales particularly well into the late game compared to an Enigma who's just, you know, we talked about they have no way to deal with this black hole, and that becomes very worrisome as the game goes later and later. You know, once you get to a certain point, just solo black holing one or two of the cores is perfectly fine. He has a Shadow Blade now as well, so.
I'm trying to think like if there's any item which allows them to like either delay him when they jump in, like you can look for the scythe, but like once he triggers the BKB, it won't matter. But you may just need to have the scythe. Wait out the 5 seconds, you'll probably burn like 1 second of the BKB, like if we go later and later into the game.
Yeah, I think Bears is considerably more reliant on getting the jump. I think Secret, even if you know, they don't really have to get the jump, they can sort of have the Ember run in, start bullizing people, and they always have this Enigma waiting in the wings ready to potentially black hole. They have the Rubik, they can lift someone. Bears, like, they really need to go in with this Lion and the Slaughter and blow up here, because if they don't, then they're just food because they've already blinked in. They get, you know, changed. Rubik lifts them up and they just get completely evaporated. They have Diffusal Blade to bring them down as well, where Secret supports are very, very hard to kill. Pilot Die is sitting at 1500 HP, has the Lotus Orb and Ogre Club. You know, Puppy has the Force Staff now as well as the Solar Crust and Blink. A 10k net worth on both the supports compared to 10k between both the pairs.
Puppy jumps in, triggers Link Sphere on the Invoker, more supports in the neighborhood. Keizu waiting for that right opportunity. With the Sentry Ward down, they can't just hide inside the Invis, but Yamato, high movement speed, mid one, just on the other side of the tree line. Quick fuels that trouble towards the air, he'll hit the ground again, but maybe almost dead. Maybe with a back, he'll survive further in the tree lines. Yamato will be fine. We still haven't had a kill just yet, but it might be for Red. He's the one being hit on by MP, and they're in the backline. Zero able to bring down the Ember with a call out from Vada and the flag cannon damage. It already did its work. They moved their attention towards MP, the last big core on the front lines. He'll jump up with the
missile,
and the missile will be chasing him. I don't know if there's enough damage to kill him, draining off the mana, but keep on running. The injured Phantom Lancer.
Oh.
Dodged it.
Oh.
Oh. Not gonna go for the wrong one.
That was close.
Keizu's still alive at the tree line. He's got a Shadow Blade to get himself out again if he needs to.
Yeah, that was huge. I think Firo jumped around to the side, ended up EMPing the EMPing mid one, who had already used all of his remnants. Kind of got trapped there. Whenever the Ember Spirit goes down like that, they're not able to blow up this Invoker. We've seen how much work Firo can put in on the Invoker, who's working towards the Aghanims now, and mid one going down that early in the fight. He solo Black Hole the Invoker. He does go down, but MP is still not in a position where he can just like Superman up and be forced. They're not able to force him back off. He's going towards the BKB now, which will kind of let him man up, but he has a hard time just running into the Gyrocopter. Has the Butterfly now as well, so even the illusion's starting to become semi-useless. It's not really a hero that likes to buy MKB. Amber doesn't like to buy MKB either. The Gyrocopter is definitely not super easy to deal with. And the highest net worth of the game. It's not often you see a Gyrocopter that, let alone see a Gyrocopter, but one that's this much net worth and has had this much of an impact.
He had such a great start on the safe lane, and never was really over-pressured, so... And he's still got the highest skill counter too, 8, 4, and 6. You can see the difference with the system. At the dire side, there's so much flawed fighting. 12, 11, 14, 12, 9 on the assist compared to Bears. Yeah, there's obviously been 5 more kills going the way. Kind of shows you how much more of a unit Team Secret is when they run around as these 5 men.
Mere coin.
Yeah, and you can see, you compare these two teams whenever they play against each other to comparing a really good team against one of the lesser teams or just lesser teams playing each other. The difference in how the drafts are. You could, between these two teams, there's no super clear draft favorite. It's a lot of it's just about execution, map movements, as opposed to just one draft being objectively better than another and it being super hard for one team to just play the game because they are at such an innate disadvantage.
Execute time again. Team Secret actually TP'd out to that shrine, but they engaged onto... I say engaged, they land and then attack. This is more of an engagement. Ruben stunned up and control. Kaiser in for the black hole. Holding the dark. Come to position. He's so low on life. He may decide quickly. That's why they're making the most out of it. On board. Mid-one's going to double. Support being dragged in, but the line doesn't really want to be there. Now it's really up to Firo if he can really turn this around. Looking for the kill on mid-one. There's no real mana. The Deafening Blast of Highlight Die is the lifeline. MP will get the double kill. Moving down to Forever a little bit further to the south. But Invoker, run away. This is not the fight for you, or is it?
Radiant's top
he doesn't have any kind of real vision on Highlight Die.
Yeah, he was there so late. The fight was basically over by the time he came in. If he was there a little bit sooner, potentially, the Enigma just needed one more right click to take him down. The Ag's Gyrocopter was going to work, chipping him down slowly as he was just being black hole. Boop, boop, boop. Just needed 1 or 2 more right clicks, but I don't know if it was a little bit of miscommunication or if Fear was trying to push the wave out to the bottom lane. They find a pick off and then they immediately go to the tower, I think was what they were trying to do, but maybe found the kill a little bit quicker than they thought or didn't expect all of Secret to be there, so ends up being a pretty nice trade for them, and they're almost definitely going to lose this Roshan. They don't really want to buy the Gyrocopter back for this. Kind of hard to contest. I don't think the Sunstrike actually saw how low Roche is either.
Alright, it just hit Highlight Die as well as MP, but Tornado flies through. Invoker trying to do something, but it's the Ember Spirit who's the aggressive one, gets steering chains and can also try and break the slot archery, which won't be able to happen. Even Deafening Blast in space, no Finger of Death available as Adam just goes in deep. He actually reflects the Hex. The Lotus Orb was protecting the Ember Spirit and Roshan does go down, so MP will take the Aegis the Immortal and go one step closer. He also managed to save the cheese, which is now given over to Highlight Die. He's rapidly approaching that Aghanim Scepter for the Phantom Lancer.
Oh, is he going Ag?
He has Ags in his quickfire.
Interesting. I think it can be pretty good once you have the illusions that are actually reasonably strong. It gives you a lot more lane push, and you can nuke a wave with your Aghanims and throw all the illusions onto one of the supports, and it's pretty hard to deal with. Also, makes them a little bit beefier. I haven't seen it really the Aghanims this late. I've seen PLs go for it like considerably earlier. He switched it to Lincoln, so he's sort of still deciding what he wants to go for.
Red. That's an interesting kind of way to engage. He's basically going solo in on Pile Die, even though there's 2 creep waves here. Jumps in, commits the wall, and now it's Vero who's on the hunt. He's going to better target. It's over towards Rubik. Drops the meteorite down, but now maybe not able to survive. Lincoln was already triggered. They had to really look for space, and now in comes Kezu. A 3-man Black Hole Fada jumps in as well. He wants to go into the wash station. Will it be enough? Yep, Soul Spirit jump in too. Bears are going to look everything in this fight. All 5 down. Team Secret wiping them on the steps of the Dire Jungle.
Yeah, and whenever you're so committed, you have the Slaughter, the Lion, like we talked about. You have to jump in and jump these heroes. Then the Enigma is just always waiting in the wings, looking for an opportunity. If you mess up your positioning for just one moment, they get 3-4-man Black Hole, really nice from Kezu, and now only 1 buyback on the Gyrocopter. They may lose 2 and even 3 sets of racks.
He has to let the first one go.
I guess Radiant,
which is kind of funny considering like the next person who comes up is still another 30 seconds away.
Radiant's middle barracks.
So you don't want to fight. Yeah, hold down could slow things up. But the second they jump further outside their base, like almost to tier 4 towers, they're opening themselves up for Team Secret initiation. Is inside Kezu's stash, and Team Secret aren't even going to give them the opportunity. They take the 2 lanes of racks and they're happy with this.
Yeah, I think that's really smart from Secret. There's no reason to rush it like that. Fada just uses buyback. Whenever you do that, you lose 2 sets of racks. You're very committed. You want to win a fight at the high ground. You want to try and swing it back the other way, potentially get like the tier 2. If you get a tier 3, have access to those shrines. But Secret backing up, and the Black Hole on cooldown as well. And that's sort of, at this point, Bear's only real opportunity to fight is that Black Hole being on cooldown. And now having with the refresher as well, it's like a very, very small criteria Bears have to take these fights. They kind of need to get a pick off and play the fight 4v5 from the start. But the way Secret's been playing, it's very, very unlikely to happen, especially with the relocate they can back people up with.
Seems like every time Bears run into a Team Secret, they find support, or they find support, they go on them, and there's just nothing that can be done.
Pilot got a BKB.
Wait,
he's so farmed.
Is that, well, he doesn't even have the gold per minute. I thought it was like, oh yeah, he's got 120 gold per minute, that's just like flooding in money.
It's just the Midas.
He's got plus 20 health regen and plus 10 mana regen.
He's got 111 CS.
And he just bought 3 Tomes of Knowledges as well.
Yeah.
Bump him up a little bit more. TP up on top lane, mid one, underneath that Radiant Observer Ward. There's the rotation over. MP also underneath Radiant Vision, but Bears are so scared. It's possibly also because Firo is not there. He's pushing out the bottom lane. He's trying to create a little bit more breathing room for Bears before this top fight happens. And Father's already changed his mind of where he's going. It's no longer Monkey King Bar. He's now staring down the barrel of the Rapier.
Yeah, I think he needs to go for it. He doesn't have buyback either, so...
I just don't know if he can get out there to get it. Like, he can take the farm in the mid lane right now, up to 3,600. But the courier needs to make the suicide run.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to actually get it over. They're all just sitting there, and I think Fada knows that. He may try and sneak it over through the trees, but you will see it gets sniped a lot of times. And if it does, then, there's basically no way he's getting that Rapier. Before the base fight happens.
Defense time. Can Bears actually hold the line here? Yapsaw waiting in the trees. But no one's coming in from Secret. It's very defensive. And they're actually TPing out the sideline. It's like they're trying to wait for Bears to make the first move. And they might do so. There's 4 heroes smoked up sitting inside the base. The Team Secret have no eyes on it all. They actually don't have any kind of vision. Like, there's no observer sitting inside the base. And I think Fada also accidentally just triggered that shrine.
Oh, that was so close. They almost caught him down bottom. They smoked up, tried to hex him up, but mid one slided right whenever Adam blinked in and was able to remnant out. He actually goes for the Blade Mail onto the Ember Spirit, so lets him just kind of run in. The Gyrocopter obviously can't control where his Ags is hitting.
So the Gyrocopter's going to kill himself with the Blade Mail unwillingly?
Potentially. It also just gives him more armor, so up to 31 armor now, and...
Here's the move. They're going for it. Fada, do it, bro. Have the support with the Lion.
Yeah, they're trying. Mid one's being a pain, shoving out this lane into them.
They just don't know what's behind them. Like, even if they get the Rapier now, getting home safely is not the easiest task.
Yeah, they're not in a great position. They don't have any vision outside of the base. They
He
get
actually
this.
changed his mind. He finished the Monkey King
Okay.
buy now, and now he still has the Rapier in his quick buy.
Yeah, he didn't want to risk heading out of the base like that, potentially just dying right after he buys the Rapier. It's just
With the pace that Team Secret's playing as well, like it's another 2 minutes 20 seconds until his buyback's off cooldown, so we can probably have both buyback as well as Monkey King.
yeah. I don't think Secret minds too much him getting the BKB. Obviously, I mean the buyback. Obviously, they'll be looking for a fight. You know, if they see the opportunity, but they have both the black holes. They're okay waiting for Roche.
Oh, Firo, Puppy so close to him. A blink away. The Observer, just a little bit too late there from Team Secret.
Yeah, but even that, they break the smoke. They were looking for some opportunity. They don't need to force anything. I think that's the most important thing for Seekers. They don't really throw away their lead, because they're always just going to have this trump card of, we have the black hole, you don't have any forms of counter initiation, and
Yeah. Just don't get caught out. But the creep wave is pushing in. This is going to force Bears at least to show themselves inside their own base, but they're still hunting. Up on top lane, the Ember Spirit jumps up here. Yamso's hoping for some kind of crush that can combine with the Invoker, but this is only going to work if the Ember Spirit pushes a little bit harder, and then you still got to keep in mind there can be a relocate. The relocate support from Pilot can come fairly quickly. But they just let the Tornado do the work, and then TP back again.
yeah, continuing to just get bottled up in the base. And these supports are unlikely to get any more items as the game advances. Firo's gotten up to the Octarine, of course.
Puppy jumped in. Just there from the line, able to get the stun. Puppy gets fingered down too. He's pretty low, but here comes the black hole again from K2. It got the Gyro, it got the Invoker. The two big ones, they'll find the kill. Invoker, where's your buyback? You'll have it available. And chug. We'll keep pushing through. Down to Forev, who retreats back inside the base. All the way to the fountain. So Gyrocopter is down, but they didn't lose any more. That was black hole number 1. Black hole number 2, but without the BKB.
Yeah, and I don't really know what Bears can do. They don't have fodder to run into them. Spam out here and there some random spells, but they just dodge them. They have Slight, they have Doppelganger.
Forev back, no wall combination. Yamso was looking for the crush. To get some kind of disable, so PL is just tanking through it all. They just have to keep chipping. Good Gyro, wait for the timing. There's your buyback. Cold snap over an MP. Just Doppelganger's quickly away. Adam with the extra stun catches the IO as well. Sneaker on the backline. Sunstrike onto Ember Spirit. Pylite Eye. BKB tries to protect mid one. Able to do so, but Gyrocopter kind of trapped a little bit on the front lines. He wants to retreat back out again. The Searing Chains is holding him here with the cooldown as well. Some space can be created. But if they take any longer, the bottom lane and the mid lane is going to start adding too much pressure that they can't continue the 5v5. And Team Secret can now back up as well. Roshan spawns up in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and they're not in any hurry at all. They can wait 90 seconds for the refresher to come back up. They'll have the double BKB, double black hole up again.
Does
Mid one has
actually check it right on the mark?
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
Like he's walking in front. Just poke your head in, Puppy.
Hey!
Boys. Fight time.
Ember Spirit picks up a Blink Dagger now as well, and finishing up the bots too, so had 6k gold, buys a couple of small items, isn't going to commit to anything enormous, still has his buyback that way, and can get on top of these squishy supports, make sure that he doesn't get locked down, which is really the only way Bears can win any of these fights, is if they're jumping in, blowing up a hero, and he's going to make sure that doesn't happen so he can play a little bit farther in the fight, can still jump in and triple around it potentially, or to continue to chains non-stop, as he does have the perma chains.
Here they come. Missed.
Here comes the perma chains.
Oh, maybe he did. No, Gyrocopter was caught. I was looking over towards the left. The BKB from Fada. Triggered and stances run back. The EMP trying to create a little bit more of a buff between them and Team Secret. Not really working so far for Rev. Backing back over Puppy. They still can't even kill off the Rubik. In fact, Puppy grabs for Rev, pulling him back into the fight. They're losing too much mana. The Diffuser Blade is just doing serious lifting. But Team Secret know what they want. They want that top lane of Rax. They want to force up the Megas. Even if Bears can defend against it, it's going to basically seal a deal.
Yeah, they're just making sure they don't get over aggressive, looking for, poking and prodding, seeing if they can find a pick off here or there, but not going to overcommit to it. Here actually throwing out a tornado, catching Pylite Eye.
Sunstrike can definitely run. He still can't kill him. That's 2k life they've got to get through. The Lotus Orb is up, so they're both actually going to get amplified. The back in, Hero, the damage is there. Pilot Eye will drop. So at least they remove the IO nuisance. Question is, can they do much more? Remember, Roshan is still up. Team Secret did not take him. The Pilot Eye has buyback, and now with the Sunstrike, they scout the fact that Roshan is alive. But there's issues on bottom lane. The creep wave is now attacking the tier 4 tower.
Middle tower is
They want to
under
go in
attack.
for this. They got to go in hard.
Yeah, at the very least, the tier 4s have the regen now. Hero cycling through spells. They're debating whether to go in or not. So it is kind of risky coming into here. They could potentially get Black Hold, and they're really worried about that. Maybe trying to bait Secret in, to blinking into the pit, and then kill them after they've jumped in. Is something they could maybe go for. Forev actually TP's back to the base, so gonna make sure they get the creeps off of these towers. They're gonna cut the mid wave.
Well, mid lane, the Sunstrike won't hit its mark. Adam was too
Oh,
early
puppy.
on his one as well. The puppy on the wrong side of the river. He'll go down and actually gives over the gem. I say gives the gem back to Yapsor.
Oh, the particle effects, they've started. Forev is got a halo. Oh gosh, Fada's got a halo too.
What the hell is that?
It's happening so fast.
What the hell is that? Back into the fight. They're fighting over Roshan. Fada will drop. Here goes your BKB Black Hole. The hold into. The Invoker's gone. The Gyro's gone. Gyro will have buyback. Yamsor just has to jump himself away from this fight to Invoker. He'll buy back quickly. So the Aegis Immortal ended up into the hands of mid one. And yeah, Darkseer has just gone glorious.
Radiant's top barracks
Yeah, with no
are
bad
low.
buyback on the Gyrocopter, it's almost definite they're gonna lose these Rex here.
It's like, don't worry, this game is still an alpha. It's an alpha game. Mid one jumps forward. It's the Syrian chains over on the Invoker. They're just trying to hold him here. Puppy to help out. But Forev, Gapsaw, nice crush, but here we go again. Another black hole. Hold him in position. The Darkseer and Slaughter. They're going down the drain pipe, but they're not dead. They're still alive. The life is there. The Sunstrike and the Finger of Death. He'll hit the mark. The Ember Spirit will drop. The PL's down. Buyback is available. The Fear is moving his attention over towards the Enigma. He's brought him down too. They still hold the rack. But mid one, how much damage is left in the tank for the Ember Spirit, who's back up and alive. Invoker fighting the tier 4 towers. Pilot Die is still being an absolute nuisance, and MP has finally moved to objective-based gaming, taking out the top ranks. Ypsor with the stun. The Ranger still alive. It's the only thing which is standing between Bears and the Mega Creep. With the fact into Tornado, a triple kill for MP is doing the work. Fear definitely plus. It's still not enough. The cheese is there. The regeneration is there. They're backing up. Ember Spirit, he'll get the Syrian chains off. Now drop the Meteorite down. Anything you've got. What's left there? Finger of Death is up. Maybe that's the jump. They can kill off Highlight Die with that one. With the stun, with the Hex. Yamsor, he'll get the stun off. They're draining out the mana. Mid one is low. The Finger of Death will do his job. Adam barely survives. The Blade Mail almost killed him, but he needs to stay on the front lines. Keep the Hex up. MP turns around too. Lion will fall. Highlight Die in the neighborhood. Invoker is down. It's only Slaughter, and it's only GG. 55 minutes. The game will belong to Team Secret.
Radiant's middle tower could use
Holy
a
crap.
victory.
Really noble defense, considering the deficit they were in. Gold, the Gyrocopter being down, and they just marched towards the base as well with the Aegis. They defend for that long, but Secret, this Enigma pick ended up just paying off massive dividends. They really didn't have an answer for it.